here at Lotan's house. I'm trying to find him.
Can't bear, mate. Oh, no, in front of him. Just in front of him. You know that, mate.
Thank you. Yeah, hi. It's so nice to meet you. Oh, thanks. It's okay.
Sorry, my sweet mate.
Okay, you just missed her call.
Yeah.
She hasn't called you since when?
I tried calling yesterday, she didn't answer.
This is the ex-girlfriend.
Well, she answered and then I said, don't hang up. She hung up. Yeah.
Okay, sit down. I want to talk to you about her. Okay, first of all, how are you feeling?
Yeah. I feel like I want to throw up.
Because she just called you.
Yeah. I don't know what she's...
You haven't heard from her since you were in the house?
No.
When you got kicked out of the house, she didn't talk to you? I don't be nosy.
She's not interested in talking to me. She's calling for other reasons.
You're shaking.
I know.
Okay, so I don't think... Are you okay?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think when you were on the show, you didn't go over... Did you go over? I didn't see why you guys broke up. Or you didn't really go into that?
I don't think I'd ever go into it because I couldn't divulge my side without hers.
Uh-huh. That's...
And you
see,
wouldn't,
that's
you wouldn't
smart.
care.
Your hands are shaking.
Okay, she has to call me now.
Talk her. Call her back. Call her back. He's still setting up. Call her back. It's fine. So I'm going to call her back from my phone. What's her number?
No, I'm not blocked.
Oh.
She's just on the phone.
Oh.
Hey, yeah. Yeah, I can get anything over to you, but I don't have a key for my car, which is why I haven't given it back to anyone yet. I can't find it, which is why I can't get into it. I don't know. I don't know what to do. Is there any way you can get a passport on the same day, or I'm sorry, I don't know what to say.
He just got an awful call from his
wasn't that
ex-girlfriend.
That's fun, wasn't it?
The timing was kind of odd because we just got here, and he's been talking about how much he loves her for the whole time he was on the show. I don't know what show she was looking at.
Yeah. Embarrassed her.
You embarrassed her.
Yeah.
You kept talking about how much you love her.
Yeah.
Why is that embarrassing?
She said I don't care. So I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to do that because that's just false. People will know about it as well.
Right.
And now I did not expect that call.
Well, I just think it's okay. So that was the first time you've spoken to her since you came out of the house.
Yeah. Wow. I could throw up.
And you could throw up because you missed her, or because you didn't expect her to be so rude, or what are you feeling?
I took something of hers round to her friends last night. Mm-hmm. And I tried calling her just to let her know that she never answers the calls. It goes through to a voicemail, so I just leave a voicemail to say, right, this is da 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 da.
Right.
But she answered, and I
Lizzie answered.
yeah, and I was like, okay, don't hang up then. And she hung up, obviously, so then I threw a voicemail. And I lost my train. Wow. I just didn't expect to hear from her at all. And I'm not here that either, to be honest.
Well, I just find it fascinating. We're gonna do like a proper start in a second, and we could just edit this. But I find it fascinating because I'm gonna be quite honest with you. The reason that I really started to admire you in the house is because I thought it took a lot of courage to come into Big Brother and just be very, very honest about someone that you loved. And you don't see a lot of men doing that. Like, you don't see guys like being that transparent. And not only were you transparent, you were very vulnerable and slept with this guy. And I was like, who is... I saw this and I was like, oh my God, he's holding onto a teddy bear when he sleeps.
Yeah, I'm a man. I was holding on to a teddy bear too, right? Yeah, this is... When Lizzie was younger, she was given a rabbit by her dad. And she still sleeps with it now, but it's like it's literally fibres.
Right.
And my son used to take it, and she was really possessive about it. Like, no, you can't. So she got him one, and gave it to him. And so it was sort of it's something of hers, something of his that I could take at once.
Into the house.
And then this ribbon, I'm guessing
where'd that ribbon
is
come
Ellie.
from? Oh.
That whole
Your
lot
little
she gave.
sister.
I got a little Ellie from the show.
Oh, Ellie.
So
Ellie.
They had to pack up my stuff because obviously I was removed so quickly. They had to pack my stuff, and that's my little bit of love, peace and harmony, I think. The part that she's ripped off something of her clothes and wrapped it around, so that was really sweet.
That was very sweet. Ellie was very in love with you.
She's incredible. Ellie is one of the nicest, most... She just laughs and it's infectious. She could say the most ridiculous thing.
Yeah.
It's funny because she's saying it.
Yeah.
Tom's got the same quality, actually. Because it's easy to just talk.
I was annoyed greatly by Ellie some points. Like, at some points, I was so annoyed by her because I was just like... Ellie, back off, like, just chill, you're too pushy. She was being
drunk.
so...
When she's drunk,
I was like, oh my God,
this.
girl. She's playing herself, like, really hard. I was like, oh, Ellie, just calm down.
She means nothing by it. And I knew this is, I mean, had it been
I
anyone
saw you
else,
at one point going like...
Yeah, but had it been anyone else, I would have turned around and gone,
Yeah.
What are you playing at? But it was Ellie. She's
it was
no
hard,
malice.
right? Yeah.
She's totally harmless.
Yeah.
And on top of that, she had just said something quite personal about someone and her relationship and stuff, and she was upset, which is then why she necked this glass of wine.
Yeah.
She's a lightweight.
Yeah.
Which is weird because the show she does for a living, you'd think she's really good at drinking.
Yeah, no, there was a scene that they showed, and she was apparently very drunk, and you were looking over at Kieran, and who, by the way, the bro of love on that whole, we gotta talk about that too.
Yeah.
You were looking over at Kieran like, oh, this girl, and she had her feet on you, and she was just like all in it, and I was just like, oh, Ellie is embarrassing me.
Yeah, she was just so drunk. I mean, what upset me about that, I spoke to her after, I'm not sure if they showed, because I haven't watched anything back, I can't stand the thought of watching myself on TV, because out of worry, actually, I'll be embarrassed.
Yeah.
So
I understand
whatever's done is past, and I can move forward from it, and I'm pretty sure people are giving their views on it. I don't need to watch it back, I was there. So if they come at me and give me questions, I know the facts.
Okay, I could say that when I first came out of the house, I had that same viewpoint. But I think for me, there were moments when I would beat myself up so much that I did last week, actually. I mean, I came out of the house in January. Last week just built up the nerve to look at some of the things in the house. And I got to tell you, it really helped me. Like, it really, really helped to see me being funny, and because I didn't think I was being funny, because I was always like paranoid about what the public would think of me, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't realize there were really funny moments and vulnerable moments, and I have to tell you, Lotan, there were very vulnerable moments that you had, that a viewer like me really admired you, and that's why I'm here, because it wasn't just the drunk Lotan who was, people felt like was being a bully and all that, and I want us to talk about that, because I don't think that that's who you are, and I think that's what you're being labeled, and I think it's unfair. Because in the beginning of the season, I have to tell you, I watched you be very logical with like Chanel when she and Arthur would get into it, and she was being over the top, and you were the guy that would go to her and say, hey, but wait a minute, look at it from this viewpoint. And you were very logical, and you were the person in the house that I definitely saw as a winner, because I felt like you had, not only did you have a great look and you were powerful, but you also had a sensibility about you and an intelligence about you, which a lot of times we don't get all in one. And I appreciated that, and I admired it. I think, unfortunately, as the weeks went on, or the nights went on, how long were you in the house?
20 days.
Right, so as those days
like
go on, it feels so long, right? It feels like an eternity.
Yeah.
So I think that as the nights went on and you started missing your family and not being able to communicate with the outside world, these things start to do something to you, and then it just turns into other things. And I think that's...
I didn't like I could feel myself walking... I was worried, making everyone feel sick, because I'm so hyperactive, I can't sit still for too long. moving my leg will be going at some point if it gets too much.
Yeah.
So I was always in that room, but then I realised I'm looking at the same. Even when you're outside, you're not outside because there are walls.
Yes.
So
the walls that actually look like buildings are
yeah,
actually...
they're just walls. That's all they are. They're bits of wood that go around this place. You're like, I'm walking through a room and hearing the same conversation go exactly the same way. I could predict what the next word's going to be.
Yeah.
And that's too much for me. I need refreshment. I need
Yeah.
something, which is why when the girls come in, I was really happy. Like, not only because it was fun and something new, it was different people to talk to, different conversations. Then also you'll hear them have a conversation with someone else and it brings something else out in them.
Yes.
Whereas I feel like perhaps I don't like digging for information, so I won't openly ask someone loads of questions. I won't sit them down and go, right, so that's not organic.
Right.
Let's talk. Or like, oh, do you fancy eating this food? Oh, what's your favorite? That sort of thing. Build it up.
Yeah.
But I felt like sometimes people would say, well, you don't really ask too many questions. I said, I don't like to ask questions because I wouldn't treat anyone I wouldn't want to be treated. So right now, I don't feel like I could be asked loads of questions.
Right.
So for the first couple of days, I was avoiding conversation. I'd be in a conversation, someone started talking about their relationship with their father. And I'd sort of stand there long enough to let them know that I was there, but then kind of slide away because I'm not in a position where I want to speak about that.
But sometimes that came off as you being
dismissive. And it wasn't.
Dismissive.
I just want to cry on TV. And I ended up doing that.
Babe, you cried on TV and that's why we fell in love with you.
I know, but before I went in there, people were like, right, you're depressed at the moment, you need to feel like you need to not show this, make out, nothing hurts you, blah, blah, all sort of stuff. So it was actually Becky that pulled me up on it and was like, Lotan, I feel like any time you're in a conversation or something, or someone asks you a question, you might just go, oh yeah, this for this, and then walk off. I said, that's my defence mechanism. That's me telling you I'm hurting right now, and I don't want to bring the group down. I don't want to cry. I don't know you lot yet, and I don't want to open up to you.
Yeah.
And that's actually when I then opened up to Becky and said, right, but if you want to know, this is how I feel. And I started telling all these things, and eventually I started speaking about things to other people and stuff. And the whole group were aware of my boundaries, and I was always transparent. I always said how I felt about something. I don't want to talk about this because I love it so much right now. I don't want to word it wrongly, embarrass anyone, upset anyone, cause press to speak to someone that I know is vulnerable or upset with me or the situation. So it was that. But then there's only so long you can go on doing that before I was like, right, I'm in love with someone. This is the person. They're the most incredible person I've ever met. Like they stopped me from doing things that I would have done perhaps, like, and dealt with things in a different way. Made me see things like I didn't always.
Well, she seems very, very upset with you still. Obviously, she
does, and that's.
But the thing that I don't understand, and obviously the missing element for the viewing public, is that we don't know why you guys broke up, and we don't need to know. That's none of our business. But I do admire and respect the fact that you didn't badmouth her. You didn't make her wrong on television. You didn't. So I don't know what she's upset about. You didn't threaten her. You didn't do any of these things. You actually showed a loyalty to her, even in the house when Ellie was all over you, kissing your face and in the bed with you and trying to make out. You still had a loyalty, and I appreciated that. I really respected
she
that.
comes back to me in 10 years' time with 3 kids from someone else and says, I'd always have her back. She is that person in my life, and I appreciate that and understand it. And this is why I won't be in a relationship with anyone for a very long time, because I will always be comparing them to her, and that's not fair on the other person. So until then, I'm going to do me, do my son. That's it.
Right.
I've got nothing. I'm never going to force anything, because ultimately I've had something so amazing and it went so bad so quickly that it has messed with my head and stuff like that, and hers as well. And
right. I understand. Okay, so we're gonna kind of go backwards now, because I still didn't get the hey everybody, I'm here with Lotan. Like, we didn't do that part. Yeah. Like it went kind of the other way, right? No, it's fine. I'm listen, it's real. This is real life, right? Hi everybody, I'm at Lotan's house.
Hey, yeah.
Hi Lotan from Big Brother. We're both from Big Brother, but I watched Lotan on television, and I was like, you know what? I want to meet that guy. I really, really loved him in the house, and I think things went really bad, really fast for Lotan, and I wanted to come and get his viewpoint. I'm at the home of him and his beautiful mother, who's so sassy. We got to get her on camera a little bit, and his sisters. And I'm really happy to be here, and I'm really happy to meet you.
Love to meet you.
How are you doing?
I'm okay.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah?
Yes.
I saw an article yesterday for The Sun that came out that you actually have been in a hospital in the house. We didn't know about that.
No.
Tell us about that. What happened?
I mean, I understand why it wasn't divulged because it is my medical. They can't let people know about my medical reports, etc., etc. So, I was being sick that day.
The day that you got kicked out of
The
the
day
house?
before it all, like I had like a burning, and I couldn't work it out. I didn't know if it's heartburn or gas, or I don't know. So I threw up in the toilet, and they shut off the toilet and said, like, come upstairs. If you feel like this, can you tell us in future and don't be sick in the toilet? Blah, blah, blah. I was like, okay, cool.
So when you went in the house, were you ill in the house?
No, I wasn't. That's just I've got ulcerative colitis.
I mean, we don't have to talk about it if you don't want to
No,
talk about it.
I'm fine
I was
with
just
it.
really surprised. I was looking, I saw that, and then one of the pictures in the article showed that you did have a hospital band
Yeah, I've got my
on your
medication
arm.
there as well. It's
Oh,
like people
okay.
are questioning this as if
Oh,
like,
okay.
I'm saying something I'm not. I'm not saying my colitis is related to an ulcer, but I still have to have the endoscopy and stuff.
Okay, so you have an ongoing sickness.
I have an ongoing illness, yeah,
Okay.
which was known about. Like a lot of people in there have issues. Have
Yes, of
problems and
course.
stuff like
Yes,
that.
I know that because
So-
you have to get medical clearance to go into the house.
Correct.
And, yeah,
They
I
do
get
all
that.
sorts of tests.
Yes.
But it is something that flares up as a result of stress and stuff like
Yes.
that, and it does get too much. And when it gets too much, it's really uncomfortable. I mean, it really really isn't nice.
Right, and in the article it said that you threw up like 150 times or something.
And yeah, and I mean,
some
I'm
random,
not
like
no,
big number.
That's fact. Like
You
it wasn't.
threw
I'm
up
not
that
like
much?
yeah, but it's not like I
Blood.
was, yeah, but it's not like I was throwing up. You know when like you've drunk and
Yeah,
you
yeah,
throw up and it's
yeah,
like ah.
yeah, yeah.
It wasn't like that. It was like mouthfuls. Like I'd open my mouth and it'd come out. I'd have no
Really?
choice, like that, and it'd be like a handful.
Wow.
Like, and it was just constant. I'd have a bin here while the medic's here. I'm just like answering
Really?
questions. It was just constant,
Wow.
and they were so worried about it as well. Like I got
And when
taken
did
to
this
hospital.
start?
So it started during the day, during obviously doing whatever, and I was just like chilled all day, just trying to lay down. I was sort of laying like this,
Yeah.
and then I was sort of in and out of the house, having for the past few days, saying, "It's time for me to go now. I
Yeah.
don't want to do this anymore.
Right.
I'm losing it here, and I feel really unwell. I don't like it."
Yeah.
And they say like, "You're doing well. You're a good."
Yeah.
Like, they talk to you and stuff, and
And just try to talk you off the ledge, basically.
Well, I don't want to throw anyone under the bus. There's a guy who's they pick guys that have the most amazing tone as well. They make you feel
Yeah.
comfort.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, when you're a kid, it's like them hugging you in their voice. And it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, you
Yeah.
know what? Sorry, I can do this. I'll
Yeah.
push through.
Yeah.
But I knew my body better than anyone else.
Yeah.
And I should have known, and that was my fault.
Okay.
I was allowed to let myself be led, if you will, to believe that I could get through it, or
Yeah.
I'll take this medication, or I'll
Yeah, it'll
try
be
not to.
fine.
I'll try not to argue with this person, even though I never had an issue with. It wasn't. I had an issue with women. I had an issue with women giving me shit all the time. They didn't have to do it.
Why do you think they did that? Why do you think that? Because okay, let's go back. I mean, obviously, 20 days is not a really long time, but when you're in a house, it's like 20 years.
It is. Every
right?
day is like a week.
Yeah, every day.
So
Trust
much
me,
can
I
happen.
know.
You can fall out with someone 3 times in that day.
And then make up with exactly.
And you must think they're crazy, like on TV. Like, hold up, he was ripping into her last night, and now they're hugging.
But that's because you don't have any outlet. That's
No,
you're
you
in the
don't.
house with these people, and that's your
And you-
team.
And
That's
if you
your
don't
crew.
fix it,
Yeah,
it
yeah,
will
it gets
remain,
bigger and bigger
yeah,
and bigger.
and then people just stop talking to each other.
Yeah,
and
we
we do
can't
get
have that.
encouraged to fix
Of
situations.
course,
Oh,
of
I think
course.
you're this. What do they keep asking? What's your position in the house? And I was
Yeah.
baffled. I don't. What do you mean? What's my position?
Yeah.
I talk to everyone. I'm fine. I'm
Did you
happy.
think that you were? Did you find that you were a leader in the house?
No. See, I didn't see any of this.
But I want to
From
let you
outside.
know that you were. You were a leader in the house. You were, for the viewing public, we definitely saw you as a leader in the house. And that's not a bad thing. It's just that you had a big personality and the interest was in you. And that's what it was. Now, don't feel bad about that. That's just...
No, I don't feel bad.
That's just
it's-
where it was.
Things are being portrayed as if I'm some sort of like, I'm the Pied Piper. And I'm like, if I want to do something, I'll do it. If I suggest it to one of my friends, they want to do it with me because I'm all about having fun.
Yeah.
And I wasn't ever doing anything to hurt no one. No one cried because of me.
Yeah.
No one was physically injured. Like, nothing.
Well, we're going to get to that too because, you know, it became a certain accusation that you were being a bully to the women.
Do people forget that I'd already said, like, the reason I sat next to Arthur when he broke down and stuff was because people were standing there.
People do forget.
They weren't bullying him, though. They were telling him something. But I said, from the outside looking in, I was aware that I walked out of the room and I saw this and I was like, they are not bullies. The girls were talking. He put himself in a position. I really like Arthur. Absolutely adore him. But he put himself in a position whereby he had me on side all the time to sort of go, he was like that kid in class that you just can't tell off. Stop it. Stop, Arthur. No, I'm not saying sorry. No. Just Arthur says.
Right.
I was like, come on, because there's only so far I can take it before I'm like, you are in the wrong right now. So I sat down next to him so that there wasn't that 3-on-1 sort of situation as it would have looked.
Yeah.
And I said to him, like, right, I like you, but you are in the wrong. You do not.
Yeah,
use
and
the
that's
words
what I loved
that
about you.
Used.
That's what I loved about you because you would sort of be, for lack of a better word, the ethics officer or the ethics presence in the house. And when I say that, I mean if someone needed to apologize or if someone needed to take responsibility, you were the guy that was like, hey, hold on, let's take a look at it. And then I don't know at what point for you or the viewing public or the house where that all of a sudden shifted to you being like this bad guy, like bully, guy.
I think it was
like I don't know when that happened. Do you know? Do you realize when that happened?
No, I've looked at they tried pulling me apart on that like dissects my personality or something on
bots.
On bots. Mm-hmm. And I watched it. I was like, this woman is either really poor at her job, getting paid a lot of money by a company to say what they want.
Well, she was very poor about it with me too. She was I know
oh,
what
he's laying there like this. I was hammered. I was in pain and I was sick to death of something.
Okay, well, why were you drinking and on medication? Let's just talk about that for a second because that's a recipe for disaster. We just
this
really
before I had my
look at
medication. So I went.
Oh,
afterwards.
okay.
So I didn't. Okay, so I wasn't aware what was creating my illness. I didn't think it was anything to do with my colitis because I hadn't had any other symptoms.
Okay.
Only a few days before I had, but then they stopped. So I thought it must be something else. Must be stressed or.
Right.
And I get it all the time. I get pains and stuff, but it was getting worse and worse and worse. Then I was over trying to be everything for everyone.
Everybody.
I'll fix this situation for you.
Yeah.
Oh, don't worry, Lotan's going to step in. I'll do this.
Yeah.
And even to the point where I was having Big Brother say, well, Lotan, I think maybe you should, because at the moment you've fallen out with Hannah. She won't apologise to you. I tried apologising to Hannah. Not for what I said, for how I said it. I raised my voice.
Yes.
Shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
And she was shouting over top of me, so I did that. And I noticed myself doing it, I walked away.
Yeah.
I tried apologising to her within minutes.
Yeah.
And she did this. I went, look, I offered my apology once, but then don't think I'm going to beg for you, because I won't.
Yeah.
I stand by what I said, and you owe me one. She made a lot of things about her, which I just felt was baffling, because you can have a conversation with two people, and she was like, say my name then. I was like, I'm not talking about you, why would I do that?
Yeah.
You just say something.
I definitely felt it was unfair because I did see posts and I did hear people say, oh, he's being a bully. And I think it was definitely the kind of thing where it was one-sided. When I say that, I mean girls in the house are being bullies too. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't like...
I had Deborah's nose on my nose. If that's not invading my personal space...
Wow.
How on earth... I don't understand how the girls are in there, to be quite honest. I got really drunk and I...
Did you get drunk to try to deal with things? Was that, or do you get drunk like that in life, or is that just?
I don't really drink. What I do?
Was that just your way of handling things?
Yeah,
because I feel like in the house, because I know I hadn't drank in like 10 years, and I went in the house and I was like, okay, I'm gonna have a drink.
Yeah.
Because then you have peer pressure too, because they're like, come on, let's have a drink, let's have fun.
Honestly, that was me going. Tom would come over and go, right, so neck this, and I was like, I've already necked 3, and he'll go, no, I've got to do it. And he's like necking them back, and I'm like,
right,
so it was never thought that night though. I was more drunk that night than I had been.
The night that you got kicked out?
Yeah, and it was sobering for me. Literally.
Because I saw when you hit the emergency thing, I thought you were very drunk in that moment.
Oh, I was drunk, but I was more so the next night. I was, so for the, if you watch throughout the time, I don't know what was shown, but I was never like, or anything.
No.
I don't get that way. I don't like being out of control. I like knowing that I can...
When I saw...
I missed
in the moments where I saw you getting very, very angry and when you threw the drink, I thought you were very drunk in that moment. Because I I didn't find that was really you, like you, Lotan. Like I felt like, okay, and we're gonna get to Isabel in a minute, but I did find that I could see as a viewer when you had too many drinks. I don't want to talk about Isabel yet because it might piss me off, so we're gonna leave her for like the end of the interview. So let's get to some questions. We got some questions coming in on Twitter. Did you make any friends in the house? And if you go back in, would you change anything you did in there? And the last thing they want you to know is that you were a great housemate. And that is that's Girl Fighter 2013.
Thank you. Would I change anything? If I changed anything, I wouldn't be the person I am right now. So I'd like to say I would have done things differently.
What things would you have done differently?
Like, I think I opened up to the wrong people.
Who was that?
Hannah. Okay, so there's a lot of things you don't know about my son that I wouldn't want in the press. Like things about that's happened to him when he was really young. And everyone in the house knows this. And it's.
How do they know? Did you tell them on camera?
I've told.
You obviously told. Obviously,
I've told them, but it was. I don't think they'd show something like that because it's
very sentimental.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would go against their ethics.
No, they didn't. They didn't show anything about that.
No. So for anyone to even just don't mention my boy. Like I was drunk. Don't you mentioned my son? It doesn't matter in the context what you meant. I'm drunk. I'm over it. I do not care anymore, and yet.
What did she say exactly? Isabel said, "What kind of role model are you being
supposed to be a role model or
for your son or something?" Yeah.
And it was like you have no idea of what me and him are like. Like what we've both like, been through and what.
Yeah.
Like his mum as well. It's just like who are you to judge? Like,
yes.
It's you.
I felt like that was a low blow. And even though the public, there's people, and I'm gonna play devil's advocate for the public out there that are saying, well, she didn't talk about your son. And that's not true.
But she knows about my son.
She does.
There's a difference between talking about him, not
yes.
talking about him, mentioning his name in the
context of negativity.
Exactly. When you know more than anyone else in the public. So it looks like I've just snapped. It's not. That's days of having to hear little niggly comments.
Yeah.
Doing stuff to openly wind me up. You don't see how many times I'm just like, whatever, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like I laugh.
I think that
I
definitely thought that she was intentionally coming after you because she saw you as the strongest player in the house.
And I think because I was so close to Kieran, she was devastated when she come in.
And he ignored her.
And the reason he has reasons for that. He's not a nasty person at all.
Yeah.
But there are reasons for that which I can't discuss.
As a woman, in her defense, because I don't even want to defend Isabel, but as a woman, you have to understand that as a woman, when you slept with someone and you shared that part of yourself, and there's Rebecca too. I speak up for Rebecca, not Isabel, because I don't want to speak up for her. But let's talk about Rebecca, because he did the same thing to Rebecca. Oh shit. Okay. Never mind. Okay. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So,
yeah.
And
she knows that.
She knows this, but obviously the public don't know this. So it's there is so much.
I can't say this.
No, because it's not my story to tell. I can't.
But I can tell it. Can I repeat it?
No, you can't.
Okay, I won't. Out of my honor and respect for Lotan, I won't.
It's,
that's dirty.
And that's
so she shouldn't have been.
Kieran could have said that on TV and it would have been shown.
Yes.
But he chose not to. So he'd rather be made to look like he's ignoring someone that he's had time with.
Yes.
Or go out and say, okay, we can talk, we can.
But I gotta tell you, last night, she did put herself in a position where people really don't think highly of her anymore. She admitted that she has STDs and she's had anal sex and all this crazy shit.
And I would never. I'm not gonna. I get that. There's something.
No, I'm not. I'm not gonna repeat what you just said to me. Don't get me wrong. I'm not gonna repeat that. Yeah. But what I'm gonna say is, it wouldn't be surprising now if he did repeat that. It wouldn't be surprising.
I understand.
Do you understand what I mean?
It's kind of like,
because she's basically come out and said she's a hoe. She said that about herself.
Yeah, so
she's on TV now completely, I guess, just trying to make ratings at this point. She doesn't care what she's doing with her reputation.
No, I don't think it's easy in there to get lost and stuff.
It's definitely easy to get lost.
But I think she's now probably at the point where by the first few days when I really struggled with time with her was when she was very self-aware. Like the first few days.
You're very self-aware in the first few days, and then you start to lose it.
The thing is, we are already weeks deep.
Yes.
Which is like months.
Yes.
She's coming in fresh.
Yes.
Nothing bothers you in the first couple of days, but you're still like on edge, and then finally you get into your stride.
Yeah.
Now that after the first 2 days, I'd say that's when people start arguing.
Yeah.
That's when people start becoming relaxed.
More of themselves.
Exactly. So that is when people should be seen as who they are.
Yes.
Right now. So
Do you know what I mean? Because everyone's like my P's and Q's and stuff like that.
Yeah, of course.
First couple of days, it's like, oh, this is great. Oh, we will get on so well.
Yeah.
Who am I going to nominate? Like the third week, I'm going, why are you not giving me 10 nominations? Give it to me. Honestly, can I just 2 for one person? It gets like that.
Right, it does.
It's
I think the public will never ever know. And this is why I wanted to talk to you. Because as someone who was in the house as well, the public will never understand what it's like being in that house.
You can't, because
being
you're never
away from the people who love you, not having access to social media, not having access to the things that you're just innately used to picking up your phone or eating whatever kind of food you want to eat and sleep. The light doesn't go out until everybody goes to bed. I mean, just
that's
things
torture in itself.
It's torture. It's torture. And this is what I just didn't feel was fair with you, because I was just like, you know what? They have no idea the limits that you are pushed to in that house. And I did, because I was in it, and I just felt like I just wanted to come and give you a voice, because I didn't think it was fair. I just like, this is not right.
I think one of the main issues in that house is people are far too fast to, let's say 2 people have an argument, one person's clearly in the wrong, the other's really annoyed with that person. What I found is this person would never ever like just brush over that, put that aside for 2 seconds. Are you okay?
Right.
Is there something else? Like Arthur, I was constantly saying there's more to this.
Yes.
Because he's not a malicious person at all.
Right.
He snapped and said some stupid things and then was too proud to take them back.
Yeah.
And that upset me, because pride comes before a fall, and you're going to absolutely make a fool of yourself.
Yeah.
So please don't do it, because I want you to look the best you can. I don't want you to, because this isn't you. But they will only show now every time you blow, because they'll be like, brilliant. They're going to see Arthur as this, and this. When in actual fact, he was missing home. He wanted to go and marry his partner. He had like an epiphany and was like, this is not what I want anymore. I don't want this. Right. So he left. I don't agree with what he said since he's left, and it's really upset me.
What did he say? I haven't heard.
He's released stories saying that he was bullied and stuff in the house.
Oh.
And he knows that is not the case. I wouldn't allow it, for starters.
Yeah.
And neither would anyone else. There weren't anyone that could be seen as bullying in his time there. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't. It was far too fresh. It was just a matter of he was well out of his comfort zone.
Yes.
I mean, as most
and
of us
he was
were.
being made wrong for having what he had, and so then they kept making it very clear that they didn't appreciate that he didn't have to work hard. So it was. It was really difficult.
Obviously, I have not seen any episodes.
Oh, okay.
Other than the one where I get kicked out.
And you watched that one.
Yeah, because I was out. It's like, come on then.
Oh, right.
What's going on here then? Oh, right. Sat with my mate. My mate's going,
oh my God.
What? I was
God.
Fuming.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I was like, so right, this is what happens next. And I say someone else's conversation, they skip. And I'm like, and you're going to...
Oh.
And then I start getting mad going, wow, it just looks like I'm niggling, and she just gives his hat back, and I'm like, I'm not having this.
Yeah.
That was not the case.
Yeah.
It's not. I took a hell of a lot, and don't get me wrong, I'm the biggest piss taker in the world.
What does this mean, piss taker?
To wind someone.
Oh, okay.
But it's all in fun. Okay. It's like if you were to sit up and I move the cushion away from you, you'd like, oh, silly.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's no harm in that. You're not going to hurt yourself.
Let me ask you this. Because I was at the school today. I dropped off my kids, and this mom said, I said, oh my God, I'm going to meet Lotan. And she was like, oh, he's so full of himself. Okay, tell me what you think about people saying that about you. Right. And what does that actually mean in your viewpoint? Why do you think people think you're full of yourself? My job,
the way that I look, like these are all things that I've always struggled with, because I first started getting tattoos when I was younger to take the attention away from my body, because I don't like the way it looks. Even when I'm in good shape.
You don't like the way your body looks?
I don't like the way... No, I'm not... Wait, stop. Have a go. Stop it. It's not to say I don't appreciate I'm in good shape.
Yeah.
I just don't like... I look at other people, the same as you and anyone else would, and go, banging, look at that. I'll be the first one to go, that guy is ridiculously good looking.
Yeah.
Can you stand over there, please?
Yeah.
Don't come. Do you know what I mean? It's all in jest, but people make these assumptions so much that I have to make a joke of it and sort of... let me just say this to you, and the viewer that is watching, leave your comments behind. I don't care. I'm just going to say it. You never have to apologize about how gorgeous you are. You're a gorgeous guy. Your body's amazing. But you're a gorgeous guy. It's almost like people don't hear what I'm saying. Looks do not last forever. The reason I do what I do isn't because I've not brain to become a doctor or something. It's because I enjoy what I do. I love performing. I love dancing. Yeah. So why wouldn't I utilize this while I have it? Because it doesn't last forever. So you've got a shelf life. Yeah. And then I can go into something that stimulates me like
intellectually.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's what I loved about you in the house. I would say the first week I was just like, okay, he's got something else going on other than being hot, which is what I admired because I like to see someone that looks like you actually have intelligence and an IQ instead of just being, hot. There was nothing else. Some people don't have anything else behind that. So let's look at another question. Okay, so would you ever go into acting if you got the chance? I thought you were a fab housemate.
I'd love
also.
to.
You would love that.
Absolutely love
I
to.
think you'd be great at that too. Let's look at. I mean, obviously okay. One girl says, "I loved your bromance with Kieran and Tom. Why do you think you got on so well with them?"
So, yeah, it's like having two brothers. Literally, you had the sensible one, and then the little naughty one. But I could sort of go, Tom, it's enough now, and he'd go, oh, I think he knows that I can go far.
Yeah.
If I say it's too much, he
Yeah.
probably don't. Oh, actually, that's probably too much now. Whereas Kieran would be the one telling me, "Are you sure you want to do that?" I go, "That's fine." And I push the limits a bit, and then he'd go,
Yeah.
like, I need to shave my hair all off, off completely.
Oh
And he
my
was
God.
like,
No.
"You're not doing it."
I'm so
Not
glad
like-
he stopped you.
Yeah, he was like, "No."
You have beautiful hair. Don't do that.
Like, I went back to hospital. I was in hospital 3 times in that house in like the last week. I dislocated my knee's obviously shot.
You went to the hospital 3 times.
Yeah. So my knee did that because I've got a dislocated knee. I've ruined my ACL's gone. My cartilage is torn. My leg's actually hammered. I was waiting an operation before I went to the house. I was meant to have.
Was that painful as well while you were there?
Yeah, which is why I had a strap on. Did you not see at some point I had a blue strap on my knee to support it?
No, I didn't.
Oh, I got drunk one night, as you do, and I did a round off on the back somersault.
Oh my
And
God.
as I landed, my knee kind of went a little
Oh
bit.
my God.
So I got taken to hospital that night as well.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
We don't. The viewer did not know this. Oh
No,
my God. The
there's
hell that
so
goes
much.
on. Okay, so if you had a chance to evict a housemate or housemates, who would you choose? I'm sure your list would never end. That's what Melanie Smith said.
I think not to ruin her time in the house, but I would like to take out. Actually, I'd take out one of the sisters because I think Hannah needs to go.
I've said that in my OK Magazine article.
like
I think
she
should go.
is.
She's very over the top. I feel
and
like she
makes
takes everything. Like when you put the toy mouse in the bed, and she made it this big deal. I was like, wait a minute.
So every day after that, it was, you still haven't apologised for this, and this. And I was like, whatever. And then the last day that I was in there, she went, so you still haven't apologised for putting a spider in my bed? I went, stop. Please tell me you're going to air this. She went, what? I was like, so you've got a phobia of spiders? She said, yeah. I went, so you had an anxiety attack and went to the diary room because you have a phobia of spiders? She said, yes. I went, cool, because I put a mouse in your bed. It's the same as when she said she got hit around the face by Ellie. She never got touched.
Really?
Yeah, they made a point of telling me before they took me back in the diary room, and I didn't know why. By the way, Ellie was not hit at all, not once.
I didn't
We've
see
checked
that.
all
We
the
didn't see
cameras,
that.
blah blah. And I was like, why are you telling me? I didn't think she was hit. She never hit anyone.
Yeah, we did see that.
Yeah,
Because I kept rewinding, like, when did she get hit in the face? Maybe it was a part of
No,
the...
but they told me as well before I went to the, and they've released statements and stuff as well. I think that no, it wasn't. It was who was it? It was one of the producers told me Ellie has not been touched.
Hannah.
Ellie has not touched anyone.
Right. No, I kept rewinding, like, maybe during the whole thing...
She never. She was like,
it never came up
apart
again.
from the bruise on my face. I was like, what? And they were like, just to let you know, they've watched, and for them to air that they've watched, like they haven't aired, like obviously, me asking to leave for days. Although, if I would like to ask them to do that, because it would show that I'm dying to leave for days. I was getting too much.
Yeah.
I know my limits, so I would never ever be in that position in my life again.
Yeah.
Because for 4 days I was trying to go, and yet I'm still. No, you didn't. Okay. I don't want to let anyone down. I want to carry this on. I'm holding myself okay. I can deal with this. I can't. All right, and no one would ever.
What were the moments that you felt like you wanted to leave? Like, what were those things that would happen when you'd say, "I'm done"? I mean, obviously, we saw the thing where Isabel was just like going in.
It was never.
What
when
was
stuff was going bad? It was when I was at my happiest.
But you wanted to go.
Just before I got given the. I wasn't allowed to be evicted. What was that called? They gave me.
Oh, when you got immunization or
immunity.
Immunity. Sorry, immunity.
Just before I was given that, I think I went. Was it before? No, it was just before. Just after. No. Hang on a second. Let me get my thoughts. Don't mess this up.
No problem.
Right, so I was in the diary room saying, I'm ready to go now. I've hit my peak. I'm happy again. Like I don't feel like I have much more to give in this aspect. Like I just feel like you can only go south from here. And I've had the best time and I'm ready to leave. I want to go get on with my life now. Blah, blah, blah. And then I come down the stairs and they gave me immunity. And the reason everyone else was elated when it happened to me, if you look at my face, I looked gutted because I felt
That
like...
means you're going to have to stay.
Yeah, because Gemma had given something to me that she could have given someone else.
Yeah.
And I felt bad.
Because you wanted to go.
Yeah. So
Right,
I was
I
like,
understand that.
right, so I'll stay.
Right.
And I stayed, and then I went back into the diary room a number of times. I was like, I feel like I need to go now. I'm not getting any happier. I feel suffocated. I feel like having fever, and it's which are symptoms of everyone in the house.
Yeah.
But
Oh my God, it's horrible.
I'm hyperactive.
Wait, at what point did Isabel switch on you where it just seemed like she was just coming in? It was just like, it seemed like, because she talked about the fact that you were talking about the girl that you loved, and then she brought up, being a dad. Like, I felt like she was coming in. Yeah, that's what I mean.
Asking me questions.
Right.
I'd be in my room and she'd go, oh, so what's this about your ex and blah, blah, blah. I was like, I don't really know you. Don't take it personally, I just don't really want to talk about it. She'd ask something else in a roundabout way, and I was like, so I'd be quite vague with her. Yeah. And then she'd be the one asking me about my kid. And I was like, no, I don't really want it. But then if I was talking about it with someone else, she'd walk to a room and she'd sit there or something and just
and start listening.
Yeah, and it was like, I'm not going to stop talking because I'm not going to change who I am or what I'm doing because of someone else in the room. And that's
do you think that she was intentionally trying to...
She massively targeted me.
Yeah, that's what it felt like. I said that, but I wanted to know if you felt that.
No, I did. Like, it was... And the fact that
I just felt like that.
So the girls actually made themselves, like... So there was never any click. At one point, we all obviously made our nominations off of the back of the argument stuff that happened. Yeah. After the
definitely people were saying, oh, this is a clique, they're a clique, this is a clique, this group is a clique.
But none of us acknowledged anything. We all went outside together, but some of us smoked, some of us don't. Yeah. And then...
Well, that was the thing. I know when you are... For me, I wasn't a smoker, and I find myself always going to the smoking area because that's where everybody was. Yeah. So I would just go anyway. And some people don't want that. They don't want that secondhand smoke. They're like, no, I'm not going to do that.
But then you'd get the people, like, that would go over together, like Hannah and... Coco. They go over to one corner and then start singing at the top of their lungs. Now, the girl was driving me insane.
Who, Deborah?
Like,
sorry, Hannah. I'm not singing.
Like, I was like, you could like.
I teased about that.
Yeah, well, I was like, Simon Cowell's not going to sign you. So, like,
when I was in the house, I'd sing about everything.
I know, right? But I did as well. I lost my voice. Did you know? The whole time I was in the house, first few days I was fine. After that, I was doing so many impressions and stuff. My voice was like, sometimes I go to speak and I was like. Nothing was coming out. So I do understand that singing's fine, but
because you don't have any music and it's just like the thing to do. But she was just like kind of like,
she knew that it was. I clearly said something. I was like, I actually like your voice. I said, but don't run it into the ground because it will wear thin. And I've got like a zzz in my ear if the decibels get too high. So sometimes in conversation I'm like this, and it's not because I'm doing this. I'm just like it hurts my ear. She knew that, so she'd get nominated and start singing stuff like. If You Don't Know Me By Now. Or,
oh, right. That's so funny.
All sorts of like songs like with dodgy lyrics in it where it's directing. I was like, what are you doing? So me and the boys went and had a bath together, as you do.
What do you mean as you do? Let's talk about that because I saw you guys in the shower together.
We were sick. We
that was crazy. The guy, first of all, the see-through shower in the bathroom. That's just nuts because we didn't have a bathroom like that. There was no see-through in my shower. You can go take a shower and not have a camera on you. How did you feel about that? How did you feel about...
I was only upset because I thought... Well, not upset.
I mean, I saw you guys with your briefs on, obviously.
Yeah, well, I was like...
But I was also like, why are the three of them in the shower together?
Oh, no, we just didn't.
It was crazy.
But the thing is, because the girls would spend so much time in the shower...
That was funny.
So if one of us got up and jumped in the shower, we'd be like, brilliant, because we were all getting together and not care.
Oh, okay.
Why do we care? A bunch of lads, we've got the same equipment. We do not care. I
thought that was very odd. I was like, oh my God, they were in the shower together. They watching each other's bodies.
It was just a way of us doing it all at the same time without having to wait for a minute and go, I need to wash my hair.
Yeah, I get it. Okay, I understand now. Okay, good. Okay, so this person has hashtag Logan is my winner is his sort of Twitter name. Okay, and he says, please give him a hug from me. Just generally would like to know he's okay. So.
Oh, I think I followed him.
Okay, this is someone named Jeremy something. Jeremy.
That's right.
Scottish.
Someone, yeah.
So he is a big fan.
It's actually a she. That's
her
granddad's name.
Oh,
I was talking to
so
her
you do know her.
Yeah, she's
okay,
really
good.
sweet.
Okay, good. So she knows that you're okay. And I'm gonna go. This is when it gets a little tricky. This lady has some questions, and I was just like, I'm never asking him these questions, but I'm
just
honestly, okay.
I can only answer it.
Okay, so why did you find it hard to relate to the other group in the house?
This is what I was trying to say. When the cliques were formed, it wasn't us that formed them. they were ostracising themselves, taking themselves out of, because we were all a massive group at one point.
Yeah.
And
then
they
started to separate
they pulled
out.
themselves out.
Yeah.
And then moan at us like hold up, you're over there, like we're in the living room all chatting, you disappear and you expect us to all come out to you.
Yeah.
But it doesn't look like that.
And you hear how petty that is. But it's not, it's such a big game in the house that you're playing, but in life you would never be caring about. Like if he went outside, or if I went outside just now, you'd be like, so what?
But this is what me and the boys had.
Yeah.
Like Tom never come to me and went, you spent more time with Kieran today than me. Or we don't care. Like I could go speak to whoever in the house, come back 3 hours later and be like, you alright boys? Nothing's, because that's real friendship.
Right.
Whereas these people are so paranoid that, does that mean they don't like, why didn't they come with me? Or are they going to drink, why haven't they made me a coffee? It's like,
okay, she says, oh my God, this is annoying, but I'm going to ask you.
Oh.
This is Patsy. Okay, she says, do you find it difficult in general to relate to people who do not idolize you or find you attractive?
Mom, can you come here a second? Literally, I come from a family where I get called ugly all the time.
No.
Mom?
Yeah.
Okay, we have Lotan's coming.
Honest to God, do you idolise me?
Do you idolize your son?
I've just asked the question.
Okay, this is a fan on Twitter. Do you find it difficult in general to relate to people who do not idolize you or find you attractive?
Do any of my mates follow that at all? No.
No.
This is it. This is
the
an
misconception.
Yeah, and
about
it's something
you
that I
in
try
the
to get
house.
off of. But unfortunately, like Tom, I mean, ridiculous.
Thank you, Mom.
It's silly.
Lotan's mom came in for that question. That was some serious stuff. Okay.
No.
Okay. Were you aware that were you aware that you influenced votes against Isabel?
Have I? I don't know.
Okay.
Have
there
I?
you have it. Exclusive from Lotan. He doesn't know that. But I'm going to let you know that you have, and that's good because
they voted people because they voted her because of me.
Yeah, a lot of the housemates a lot of the housemates felt that she wasn't cool, and she got a lot of nominations to go. I think this week. She got a lot of nominations this week. She's up. With a lot of votes against her.
I know she's got I'm literally skim. Right, no, I've not voted for her to be fair. I've not voted for anyone.
Okay, Isabel said you're not being a good role model for your son. Does that mean she was disrespecting your son in some way? And if so, how? We kind of went over this.
It's kind of the information she knew, and people in the house use a lot. Hannah's done it. Hannah's asked me a million questions about my ex to the point where I'm crying, telling her absolutely everything about my life, and then chosen to stay in another room where I'm not there and say, oh, she'd be disgusted with him or blah, blah, that sort of stuff. Just, why would you bring something from the house? That's one thing I never did. I never ever said to anyone anything that could... I'd never take anything from what I don't know about them.
Right.
I know you, the person you're sat in front of me now.
Right.
You come across this, and this. That's what I'm going to take from it.
Right.
If I have an opinion on that, it's my opinion. If I choose to give it to you, that's my prerogative. But
Right.
if I have to be constructive with the way I say it. But people would then make judgments on how I am to my loved ones or the people I care about when they've obviously asked me for information about them. I've told them things, or they've heard things that are quite close to the bone because I'm talking to people that I actually care about. They might have got wind of it. So all you have to say they know it's a subject which just please don't touch upon it because it's raw.
Yeah.
Yeah. I never threw anything that I told you in your ear just then in Isabella's face. And I know it all. I could have gone, you're one to talk, lost my stuff and gone, actually, role model, cool, because you'll never be a mother because you know what you've done?
Yeah.
You've done this, and this. And obviously
But
you're
you didn't do
human.
that.
Yeah, exactly, but I didn't. Like, I know so much about her, she doesn't even realise. So, yeah, I got up, I swung my arms in the air, I didn't throw a drink at her, not one.
Okay, what happened with the drink? Let's talk about that because you had the drink in your hand. All we saw was drink flying. We don't know. And then Deborah was like, I never had a man throw a drink in my face. And I was like...
That was Hannah, yeah. No,
Deborah said it.
Oh,
Deborah
really?
was going crazy. Deborah almost left. Hannah had to talk her back into the house. So Deborah was saying, he threw a drink in my face. So do you know anything about that?
No, okay. Obviously,
We didn't see that as a viewer.
And I watched it back, and unfortunately, normally I'd go.
What was it?
God,
You
I was
had a
drunk, I'm
beer.
panicking.
What did you have in your hand?
I had like this much, like the foam of a beer.
It was in a bottle.
In a bottle, yeah.
And you swung the bottle, or did you throw the bottle?
No, I never. I've been told that I've thrown the bottle as well. It's quite clearly in my hand.
It was in your hand. You just swung it, and then drank.
I stood up and just went, sod this like that.
Okay.
That was it. Turned around and left. Wanted to leave the house. went straight to the diary room, which I've been told to do, to go. And they were like,
Okay.
and you can leave.
Okay, so that was we didn't see that as a viewer, because as a viewer we see the drink, but we don't know if it was a bottle going, or we don't. Deborah was complaining that was in her face, and
Okay, so
we don't know how
the
that
bottle
was.
was in my right hand.
Yeah.
As I stood up, I did this.
Yes.
Drink went, and the person that said whatever, Isabel,
Yeah.
she was over there. So if
Yeah.
I was throwing a drink at someone,
It would've gone that
surely
way.
I would
Yeah.
have gone.
Yes.
I didn't do
You
that.
just- yeah, I get it.
Okay, yeah, no, I shouldn't have acted like that. I really shouldn't. I'm
Are
disappointed
you
in myself.
apologetic for that moment?
Yeah, I'm disappointed that I let myself get to the point where I've allowed a stranger, as far as I'm concerned, have some sort of control of my emotion.
Let me ask you a question. If Deborah and Hannah and Isabel were here right now, would you apologize for that moment or no?
Again, I'd apologise for reacting, but
But what she said was
perhaps
offensive.
what she said was off the back of things that she knew, and she knew that.
she used it against you.
And I was so built up. Something I do want to address is this. I said I'd destroy them physically and mentally.
Oh yes, let's talk about
With
that.
words. No, I've never once said that I'm gonna physically, like I'm gonna hit someone. I
Okay,
wouldn't
that
do
that did come across as you would.
No, because one thing I haven't done is really attack. I addressed something. I only ever said orange or whatever because.
Oh, I
the
called
first
her
time-
orange.
the first time I met her-
I wrote an article about it.
Yeah, the first time I met her,
She's
she
very
was like,
orange.
"What's the first thing? What's the first thing that I noticed about you?"
How
She went,
orange she
"I'm
was.
orange." As far as I'm
She
concerned,
said that?
Yeah. So I was like, she's like
She
saying
knows
we
that.
can talk
Yeah,
about
yeah,
it.
I guess.
So it was always a joke, and I was like, so that was the worst I ever get. I never went, "Oh, you look like this from this show," or blah blah blah, because I can be quite creative. But I never once like went in on her. And when I said I was gonna like, I didn't say verbally. If I could mentally, physically, I would say things to her too. I could have messed with her
When
the
you
whole
say
time.
physically, though, it comes across
No, you're right.
as
No, totally. But I was drunk
that's
as well.
not words.
No,
words physically. You can't say
Yeah, no,
physically, and the
I
people
meant
think,
like-
oh,
yeah.
because they definitely, the viewer definitely took it as, oh no, he's
No,
threatening
and
her life, and
that would be
she's just
disgraceful.
poor little.
I wouldn't do that to someone even if it was a man. But it did come across like that, and when I watched it back, I was cringing because I was like, I'm just drunk, and I was saying one thing, saying another. None of it really made much sense because I was so angry.
Yeah,
So it was like I was quite incoherent. I
yeah,
was like, that's just really poor, like on my part.
Yeah.
I should have said verbally. I would literally lay into your appearance or blah blah blah. That's how I would say if I
Yeah.
was sober, but I was cracked. I was ready to go, and it's
Yeah.
just it come out the way it did.
I
And it's really
understand.
unfortunate.
I understand.
And I'm still apologetic for like how I carry myself, even though I was under so much pressure and I was trying to do everything right and trying to go about things the right way and just let me leave and blah blah blah, and I was unwell. That aside, I should have known myself better and I should have walked away from the situation. I just told them outright, I don't care how many times you're going to say I'm
Yeah.
doing really well,
Yeah,
I should leave.
yeah,
this
because you
doesn't
know
mean-
yourself. You know how much you
I
can
didn't
take.
trust myself enough, unfortunately.
Well, I respect that. Thank you for saying that. I respect that. Okay, let's go back to Patsy's questions. She had like 6. So, okay, Isabel said, okay, sorry. Do you now think Isabel is simply better at playing the Big Brother game than you?
I wasn't playing a game. I suppose I was playing it in the sense that I just did me. I don't know how to do anything else. I had so much on my mind before I went in there with the company that I work for.
Yeah.
With my ex-girlfriend, with worrying about how my son might get some stick and blah blah blah.
Your son what?
I was panicking about his mum getting like some sort of I don't know, where she'd get put in a position where she'd have to stick up for me, feel she wanted to stick up for me or whatever. Or
Well, that's what we all go through as
yeah.
contestants.
So I was thinking about all this. I just lost my train of thought completely.
Okay, so the question was, do you now think that Isabel is better at playing at better? Sorry,
I think she was
stop,
just. It was.
sorry. Do you now think Isabel is simply better at playing the Big Brother game than you? And you said, I don't think I was playing a game. That was your response.
I wasn't playing a game. I was.
But everybody, well, I could understand that. Had you watched the show before you went in?
No, this is it. I wish
Me
I
either.
had.
Me either.
So had I watched the game, I'd have understood it a bit better.
Yeah.
But I did go in there appreciate this is all a game.
Yes.
So I never took anything too seriously.
Yes.
That's why everything was funny for me. Like even when they were throwing stuff around and stuff, I was still like, it's fun, it's cool, do
Yes.
you? I don't care. And they were getting
Yes.
mad because I didn't go off. Well, I pretended to go off when they threw sun cream and stuff around the room. And then I was 2 seconds later. I was like, because that was an act. 'Cause even my brother.
Was
called
it
me,
an
I like,
act?
It was fake. Because that's what Chanel does all the time. Well, all this because I started boiling all those eggs, didn't I? Because I was like, can't crack an egg and it's not boiled. Just not, do you know what I mean?
That's so funny.
So I was like, I'm going to boil, if we can't be trusted with eggs, I'm going to boil every egg in the house.
And you boiled them.
I boiled
That's
everyone.
Genius.
I was like, well, why not? And she got the because obviously she was the one doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
And I was like, I just want to be involved. It's only funny if people know about it. Tell me.
Yes.
I would laugh with you.
Yes.
It only become less funny when obviously Becky ended up in hospital with a busted elbow as a result of it. She slipped on the egg.
Yes.
And then I had to go to hospital, and it was like, okay, this is... But bear in mind, she knew she'd done this. And we were like, it needs to stop now. If we're getting more, like, you can't do it, so whoever's doing it, please stop.
Yes.
And then she still threw suntan lotion and stuff around in the kitchen on the shiny floor, knowing that the last time she did that, someone got really hurt.
Yeah.
And it stops becoming fun. If someone's getting hurt, it's not funny. It's only funny if someone's laughing.
Yes.
So...
I understand.
I was like, oh, stop this, blah, blah, blah. And I think I pushed a chair or something like that. And then we laughed their arse off about it.
Yeah.
But that was all fake. It was all an act.
So that was the most of the game you played. You didn't play. Can you shoot me, please? I want to do like a little tease for Instagram. You didn't go in like with some idea. You know what? This is what I'm gonna do, and this is what it takes to win. I'm gonna do what it takes to win.
How can you ever? I said this before going in. I say it coming out. It's exactly the same point of view. How can you prepare yourself for something you will never ever experience, that you've never experienced, that you can't... It's like, I've never been put in a house or a small space with 16 people before and asked to just now live for the next however long. We're going to dictate to you the time you sleep, when you eat, how much you eat.
Right.
I eat so much food.
Right.
It's ridiculous. So I've never been in that position. So how could I ever go,
but
this is how I'm going to do it? Oh, but then how do you know that you not getting food is going to not make you react this way? Or, like when,
or no sleep. Or
when
can you do this? Can you shoot us for a little tease for Instagram, please?
Like Kieran was a homeless person in one of the tasks.
Oh, okay.
And when I was working in the salon, and I said, like, this is...
Which, by the way, that's when the celebrities came in, right?
Yeah. And
I was asked to come in, by the way. I was devastated because my American visa I didn't have enough time to sort out my visa. I would have to go out of the country and then come back in. And one of the days when they asked me to go in, and I was like, yes, I would love to. And unfortunately, it didn't work out. So that kind of sucked. So, okay, so he was playing homeless person, and you were in the salon.
Yeah, but to be homeless...
Which I thought was so cute.
Yeah, well, I was on the salon on my own because as soon as the celebs come in, everyone wrapped themselves around me. Like, I was like, we still have a job to do here. Then the fact that we'd already made, like, we'd failed the task essentially because you have to stay in your places. Yeah. And I was sitting there, the aircon freezing my arse off. I was like, right, okay. So then the girls asked me to come out and do all this, that, and the other. So we were eating like good food, but the homeless people were eating cold tinned food like beans and stuff like this. And it's disgusting. And Kieran is a fussy eater anyway, and he needs to eat. He's a big guy. Yeah. So I then resigned and said, can you just make me homeless? I'll eat as much food as I can today, store it as such. Yeah. And then tomorrow I won't eat at all. And obviously I ended up messing around with it and stuff. But because Kieran was so set on wanting to do this the right way. Yeah. And I appreciate that, but I'd rather him not break a rule to feed himself. So I switched with him and said, I don't mind breaking a couple of rules.
See, this is the sweetest thing. Like most
but
people...
it's just that he can eat, but people didn't... It's almost like things do get forgotten. And
they do.
It's not... And that wasn't me for TV either. Like, you get people trying to put stuff on, and it's like, well, you're quite clearly... But I'll take it. Like, you being nice to me, I can deal with that. Yeah. But you always revert back to the arse that you are.
Yeah, if you're right.
You can't put on an act all that
like,
time.
if you're an ass, it's coming out. Okay, let's go to her last and final question. Do you recommend people going into the house should leave their sensitivity outside of the house because it can make you an easy target?
Correct. I think unless you're comfortable with being upset and you can control, you don't know, because some person finds sensitive to one person isn't to another. So I really don't know. I am a sensitive guy. I
thought that you... I can take that now. Thank you, babe. I thought that you... and it's why I'm here. This is why I'm here. I'm going to tell you. I'm here because... and I've not spoken to any other housemate that has come out of the house yet. But I'm here because I did see that sensitivity in you. And I'm sure that the viewers did see that. And I really love that. I thought it was very cool to see you with your little teddy bear and to see you be vulnerable about your ex-girlfriend and just share that. I thought that was what was beautiful about you. But I also think that it was the thing that was the reason you got kicked out.
Yeah, it was definitely.
Because people played on that.
Yeah. And
it pushed you.
I wouldn't have changed that. I wouldn't go in there again and go, right now I'm just going to be like this, because it's not me. Yeah. She is part of who I am. she's made me. I was raised by wolves, and she was raised by the Care Bears. My mum's a hard ass. Her mum fixed everything and it's great, and it's opened my eyes to it, because before her I was like steel, and now I just feel like I've been softened, and it's nice. I also speak a little better as well, because their life, we're from two different worlds, and obviously I was around it a lot, and I liked it. They stimulated me, and it was great. So, but I would never change anything. If I would never go back in. I don't think. No, I wouldn't go back in. But if I could do things differently,
so if Big Brother came to you now and said, "Hey, we want you to go back in for a day."
For a day.
Yeah.
Oh, for a day, I could do a day. I could do a day. Call some shit in a day. But I'd be like, because I'm leaving. I could cope with that. If they said you have to another 4 weeks, I'd be like, on your
no,
way.
yeah.
Not a
Let me
chance
tell
to
you, after that second week, it all goes really bad.
You couldn't pay me enough money to go for like that whole time.
Is there anything else you would like to say that you feel that you haven't had a platform to really express? And because I really appreciate you taking the time to let me come here and talk to you. Is there anything else you want to tell the public?
Because there's probably a million and one things. But
if you think of something, just text me, and I'll make sure that, I could also do like another intro to this video and just say, but, is there anything else that you feel the public got wrong?
There's probably a number of things, but nothing. I don't think I can say anything without it coming across like I'm bitter towards someone. I'm not. I'm happy to be out. I really am happy. It's not.
Do you miss it?
I miss my friends.
Yeah.
Because it's weird how close you can. It seems silly to like viewers and stuff. You've known them a matter of 10 days. How many hours are there in a day? 24.
Yes.
How many hours do you spend at work? After a week working with someone, you consider them a friend. 2 weeks, whatever. Like 2 weeks at work is the equivalent to 4 days in a house.
Yes.
So you do get close to people really, really quick. It's everything's accelerated and heightened.
Do you think that you will be friends with Kieran and Tom when they come out?
I was planning on going to the eviction tonight.
Oh,
Not
really?
that they're going to be kicked out, but just wanted to cover all angles.
Yeah.
But I don't think I'm allowed back on the premises.
You're not?
No, once you get ejected,
you can't go back.
You can't go on bots. You can't do any of that.
Oh.
You'll have to be very.
Well, it's okay. You came to my show and spoke to me. That's cool. Okay. Well, I'm glad that you did find friends in the house, because I think you deserve that, and I think you're a great guy, and I wish you the best in whatever you choose to do. And I think that acting should be something you look at, because obviously you're great to look at, and we want to see more of you. Thank you for letting me come by.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think you're a sweetheart, and I look forward to meeting your little sister, who I think you told me is a fan.
That was her. That was my little sister.
Oh, this is the one.
That's why she was like, oh my god.
Oh, that's so funny. I thought she was younger than that.
Oh no,
okay.
I mean, she just did it. She's like,
tell her to come here.
India.
India, come here, please.
Come here.
India was the one that was giving me the long internet password.
That's right.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
She thinks it's all a bit strange. India, are you?
I'm coming. Give us a chance. Yeah.
Come over here. Come say hi. This is Lotan's little sister.
Hi.
Hi, come over here. Come in the middle.
Say good Latin, though, really. You're like a child from your jumper.
Give me a hug. Okay, so before we go, tell me something that the public should know about your brother. That
he's ugly.
What do you want the public to know about your brother that you think they got really wrong?
Just give your opinion on something. Don't worry about mine. Don't look at me.
No, don't look at him. Tell the truth.
Be honest.
Tell us the truth.
I don't know. He's just a normal
He's your big brother.
Really. I don't know what to say. I feel quite embarrassed, not gonna lie. I'm not used to this life. I'm not this.
Well, what do you want us to know? Because, the public is, some of the public, not all of them. You got people that are big fans like me, but you got some people that are beating him up really bad right now. So, what do you want to say to those people? Because I'm at home with Lotan, sitting on the couch. And meeting you and your mom has been really awesome. And I just think he's a really cool, down-to-earth guy. Is that right or no?
No, he is. He is. I don't really want to speak highly. Don't want to give him a big head.
Because he's sitting here.
No, she just wouldn't anyway. They don't like.
We're horrible to not horrible to each other, but
we give each other stick. Like,
yeah.
we don't ever
Okay, so if he wasn't sitting here, and you had to express You couldn't do that.
She can't be nice about me. to
Okay,
my
go
face.
on.
No, I can. I just
Go upstairs.
I don't know
For a
what to
second.
say. I feel a bit on the spot.
Okay,
You
so
are
he
on the
doesn't
spot.
have to hear you be nice.
Actually, go to the toilet anyway. Sod ya.
Okay.
Sod.
So I mean, the reason that I came here today is because I felt like, you know, I really saw something in him that I really loved on television, and I was like, well, what's wrong with the rest of the world? You know, why don't they get it? So why don't you tell the viewers something about your brother that you don't want him to know?
No, he's doing. No, he's alright. He's just a normal brother, isn't he? Like I'll go for him for anything, really. So that's it, really. I just don't really know what to say. I'm not really.
Yeah, it's your big brother.
He's a big brother. He's
Is
like
he a jerk?
he's protective and.
Is your brother a jerk?
No, not really. No, he's not a jerk. He's just
Right. That's all we needed to know.
just a normal brother, isn't he? Wind you up, wind each other up.
He winds you up, but you love him,
Of course.
and you guys seem like a very close knit family.
No, we are.
And your mother seems like a sweetheart. She seems so cool with her
No,
tattoos.
Yeah, that's
You
mum.
know, we should have got Shane round.
Yeah, should have just.
She had ripped me apart.
Yeah,
I've got a cousin who's like, she's like a sister to me, but she's, I mean, they couldn't use the language, we'd speak to each other and,
Yeah.
just because
Yeah.
we cane each other. I was like, alright, you're an arsehole. That's pretty much
Yeah.
it.
Well, thank you guys. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming.
Thanks.
Thanks for being a fan of mine. I was so like, oh my god, when I saw what he said because you sent me a text about her being a
Yeah.
fan, and I'm really honored. I'm really honored about being here, and I'm very happy to have met you and you. And okay, that's it. We're signing off. And yeah, it was really a lot of fun hanging out with Lotan today. And Lotan, I really appreciate you taking the time to talk to me. I know you got a lot of people calling you right now, and I'm just really happy to meet you. Thank you.
Pleasure, man.